Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Kylie and today I'm having Kapoon and shrimp dumplings. I think it's called haikao. So grab your spoons, grab your forks, or grab your chopsticks and let's eat together. Okay, I'm so excited. So I put just whatever I had left of the watercress in this. And I'm excited to see how it tastes in the soup because I've never put watercress in Kapoon before. Got Lucy right here. Hi, baby. And I know this might seem like a weird combo, but I was trying my pressure cooker out, my Instant Pot, to see if it would actually steam these, and they did, so. My favorite thing in Kapoon is, actually, it's a lot of things. It's hard to choose one thing, but I would say probably quail eggs. The enoki mushrooms are delicious in this, and the bamboo shoots. All of it together is just so delicious. If you've never had it, oh, you gotta try it. Although it's hard to find a restaurant that makes it, I actually have never tried it in the restaurant. I've always had to make it myself. Show you the little quail egg here. Christy, this is too spicy for you, babe. You can't have this. You know what's so sad? My brother and my sister-in-law, their dog is sick with pancreatitis, and it's affecting her kidneys. So if you can, say a prayer. A lot of stuff is going on right now, and only people who have pets will understand, but it's so sad when they are in pain and they can't tell you what's wrong. Somebody's mowing their lawn. So today I want to talk about a man named GIUSTI. I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but GIUSTI is a world-renowned chef who went to culinary school here in the States, and he used to work for Noma in Copenhagen. I think it said some dishes at that restaurant would go for like $300. He spent 3 years working at Noma and realized he wanted more and wanted to make a difference and actually feed people who couldn't afford to dine at high-end places like that. And it's so typical for like a chef to start his own restaurant, and he definitely wanted to do something that was more affordable and was going to touch more people, but just the fast food industry was just too competitive and there was just too many options. So Dan GIUSTI decided that he was gonna go and work at a school for the public school system and help feed children and change pretty much the way school lunches are is served. So for the most part, school lunches have to be like cheap, so it's hard for them to find food that's cheap and nutritious, right? Unfortunately, in order to find cheap food, it has to be non-nutritious. And he just felt like this was a huge problem, and he's like trying to reform the public school lunch system. And decided to, work with the school administration and come up with a plan where chefs could work for the public schools and revamp the menus to make it nutritious and fit, the palate of young children that are going to school. And in the area that he started it, I think he said it was like a 23% poverty rate. And that is extremely high. So this Michelin star chef gave up the fancy life of working in a high-end restaurant to help reform public school lunches. Like, how admirable. And he has to make nutritious lunches for about less than like $3.50 a plate. So that is in itself is pretty challenging. But he's definitely changing the way schools serve and make their lunches. Especially because a lot of these children, especially in poverty-stricken areas, they qualify for free lunch. So that's pretty much their meal for the day. And can you imagine if it wasn't nutritious? It just wouldn't. What you eat just affects everything about how you learn and how you behave, and just all of that plays a role together. But also, can you imagine going to a school where you can say a Michelin star chef is your lunch lady? How cool is that? when I was in middle school, I used to eat lunch at school. And I remember they used to have these really big cookies. And they were only $1, which is strange. They were so good. They were nice and soft and mushy. And my favorite thing on the menu at lunch was the chicken sandwiches. Those were so good. Who knows what they were made of? He's just making such a big impact, which is exactly what he wanted to do. And he started a company called Brigade, which aims to put chefs, specially trained chefs, into lunchrooms and making food for the public schools. And I read that the reason why Brigade is not a nonprofit is because Dan GIUSTI didn't want to spend his time fundraising and just dealing with all the behind the scenes stuff for a nonprofit, because he just really wanted to cook for like a greater amount of people and have the food be super nutritious and make a difference. He didn't want to deal with like all the politics and stuff, the background stuff behind a nonprofit. So that's why Brigade is a company and not a nonprofit. But I think they're hiring right now, so if you're in culinary school or you're a chef and you just want more purpose or meaning, check out Brigade and see if it's something that you could be a part of. It's definitely one of those things where, because I'm sure the public school system can't afford to pay them a great amount, but like the satisfaction of doing that job and the purpose is just way greater than like the pay. So it's one of those jobs that you just love to do no matter how much you get paid. And he interacts with the students. He's not just behind the scenes cooking. He'll go and ask their opinion and see what they like and what they don't like and how he can tweak his recipes. I mean, he's pretty interactive. Also, David Chang, Chef Dave Chang, featured him and went to go help him in the kitchen at a school on one of his episodes of Ugly Delicious on Netflix. So if you want to see that, go check it out. Ugly Delicious is so good. I love Dave Chang. He's so honest and raw, which I think like most chefs are. And it's just really interesting. I know the state of Georgia is having a reopening or soft opening today for some of their counties and businesses. And I think it's just that, you know, they're trying to help businesses and whatnot, which I get both sides. I just don't know if it's the smartest thing to do when you haven't implemented new protocols. So just because the numbers have declined, I mean, it just means that social distancing worked. So getting everybody out back and doing what they were doing without any changes just is going to cause a second wave. And so where we live in Tennessee, they're thinking about doing the same and opening up like a soft opening, like restaurants and stuff, but they want businesses to apply for the permit to reopen, and they want to know what new protocols that they've implemented in order to ensure the safety of the public, you know, if they decide to go and dine there. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. I think if it were just me and my husband, I think we'd be fine and I would be okay and just doing regular things, but I'm worried for my children, and I think that's the main thing for us. I definitely don't know how it affects children, and I just want to minimize the risk. So typically what's in Kapoon is the like white thin rice noodles, but I didn't have any left except for just a small handful, so I had to use the glass noodles to supplement, because we haven't been out in a while. If you want to check out more stuff about Chef Dan GIUSTI, I'll leave his Instagram handle in the description box below, so you can check him out and see what he does. It's great to show support for people like that who are trying to make a difference or just a positive impact on their community and society. So I always show support for people who try and do good like that. And I would encourage you to do the same. I think it's silly that like people like Chef Dan GIUSTI and his colleagues don't get more of a shout out from other people. Like, it's just, if anything, like I've seen a meme say like, if anything comes from this pandemic, it's just to show you that celebrities are worthless and they don't really mean anything. It's the healthcare workers, the grocery employees, frontline employees, like those are the ones that matter the most, and they're the ones that get the least amount of praise. This is the best when it's like piping hot. I know I say that for every soup, but really this one is the best when it's piping hot. I did not plan this, but look at how nicely the quail eggs lined up right here. I'm gonna have one more shrimp dumpling and then I'm gonna be done. Got my girl Goose right here. Luce, her name is Lucy, but I call her Goose. Really? All right, I'm done. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my shout out to Chef Dan GIUSTI and all the good work that he's doing. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Also, click that subscribe button for my next video. And until next time, see you later.